my name is Beck Chalmers. I am co-creator of Flow Profiler. I'm also a business owner, a test publisher, an entrepreneur, and a professional who is passionate about making a positive difference in people's working lives and subsequently in the organizations that they serve. Here in this short video, I'll give you an overview of our Flow Profiler Advantage workshops. Now, these Advantage workshops are typically 3 to 4 hours in duration, and you may have already noticed that you actually have a choice of 3. You could choose the EQ Advantage with Flow Profiler, the Resilience Advantage with Flow Profiler, or the Motivation Advantage with Flow Profiler. Now, which you choose will largely be determined by the development opportunities within your learner group and perhaps even the organizational priorities at that particular point in time. From here, I'm going to share with you a little bit about our approach to these workshops, why we do it this way, some takeaways that your learners can expect, and a little bit more insight into each of these areas so that you can make an informed decision about which would be the best fit for your people. Our approach at Flow Profiler is to provide business leaders with adaptive behavioral strategies based on their actual needs. Nothing that we do within these Flow Profiler Advantage workshops is a cookie cutter approach. In fact, it's quite the opposite. This is highly customized and tailored to the needs of the individuals. How we do this is through using our Flow Profiler assessments before the workshop. Which assessment learners complete is largely determined by which Advantage workshop you've chosen. So our eqflow will measure our emotional and social intelligence. Resilience-flow will measure the 6 behaviors that underpin resilience in the workplace. Motivation-flow will give you our motivation and engagement drivers. Now, once everybody has completed the assessment, we then create an aggregate. And that aggregate allows us to create a profile of the collective behavior of that particular cohort. And it's through analyzing these results, we can spot the group's strengths or perhaps development opportunities. And with this information in mind, we can customize and design a workshop based on the actual needs of the group. Now, why do we do it this way? Well, this is a data-driven approach. We're actually allowing the metrics to determine how or what content we include in the workshop. And that content is based on the actual development opportunities of the individual. But the other advantage is that we're actually able to remeasure, because this is a state-based instrument, we can remeasure learners' behaviors 12 months after the event. And many of our clients choose to have us back as a bit of a refresher, a touch-in on the learning journey over the previous 12 months, and perhaps to introduce another Advantage workshop. Now, the takeaways your learners can expect is a copy of their personal Flow Profiler development report, and they will leave knowing what's being measured, how's it being measured, and what their results actually mean. They'll also receive a customized workbook, and that workbook is customized to that particular workshop. And that workbook will be full of strategies, tips, techniques, or any exercises that we have used within that particular Advantage workshop. And the stakeholder, if they're interested, will receive a copy of our team report. The team report provides an aggregate of everybody's results, but also reports on individual results quite separately. Now, if you're looking at the eqflow or the EQ Advantage even, you'd be using our eqflow assessment. So this is assessing across the 2 factors, 2 areas of emotional and social intelligence. In the behaviors of self-confidence, to what degree am I unfazed by challenge? Am I happy to step up and act? Emotional regulation, regard for others, social awareness, and emotional awareness. This is a super assessment if you're looking to increase the emotional and social intelligence of your group. So maybe you may have a high IQ group and you're looking to find some balance with the emotional and social intelligences, or you could have a new leader who you're just looking to help out with some self-awareness and awareness on how they're actually impacting the people in their team. Our next assessment is our resilience flow assessment. So this is the 6 behaviors that underpin resilience in the workplace. And if I treat this like I would a clock face. So starting with optimism here. Optimism is so important in a leader. It is about speaking positively about the future. It's really essential in that engagement piece. Unbiased will factor heavily in our decision making. If I'm scoring low on our flow profiler scale for unbiased, it is likely I'm making decisions exclusively based on gut, intuition, emotions, feelings. Whereby if I'm scoring extremely high on our flow profiler scale, it's incredibly likely that I'm making decisions purely based on fact, terribly pragmatic, with little or no regard for the people around me. Self-esteem is to what extent do I have self-worth, self-belief, how do I value myself? And perseverance, adaptability, and assertiveness are pretty self-explanatory. So if these behaviors are important to your learner cohort, then you'd be looking at the resilience advantage. Our motivation flow measures 7 motivation and engagement drivers. And there's a lovely mix here of intrinsic and extrinsic motivators. So once again, starting at 12 o'clock and reading it like I would a clock face, growth is about our attitudes or mindset towards professional growth. Recognition, collaboration, well-being. Reward in this context is exclusively financial reward. Purpose is to what degree do I find meaning, purpose, reason to get out of bed and do the work that I am employed to do. And autonomy is to what degree do I prefer to self-manage. Now, typically the motivation advantage workshops will take 2 parts. Firstly, what are my motivation and engagement drivers as an individual? And subsequently, how can I adapt when team members have different motivation and engagement drivers than myself, their leader? Lots of richness in any which one of these assessments, and they really do form a lovely content that underpin our advantage workshops. Thank you so much for your time and your energy and your intention. I hope that we meet very soon. And until that time, do take care.